Hello there, welcome to Critical Reviews. Today I am taking a look at Fly Me to the Moon. I have to admit I went into Fly Me to the Moon knowing very little, having only seen a trailer at a previous visit to the cinema. I knew it starred Scarlett Johansson and Channing Tatum, and it was about a fake moon landing being filmed as a backup in case the real Apollo mission went a little bit Pete Tong. If not low expectations, it's fair to say that I went in with none. And it actually turns out the film is about a whole lot more than that. Maybe a little bit too much. As is tradition, a quick spoiler-free plot summary to kick things off. It is 1968 and the Apollo moon landing project is in jeopardy, with the Vietnam War raging and occupying all of the populace's attention and the front pages. Kelly Jones, played by Scarlett Johansson, is hired by government official Mo Burkus, played by Woody Harrelson. Her mission? To essentially give the entire project a PR makeover, to get it back into the public consciousness and give it an image boost. With a background in marketing, she in no time starts making up stories and interviews and arranging promotions and deals with various companies. This brings her into direct conflict with launch director Cole Davis, who's played by Channing Tatum. He's haunted by the deaths of 3 astronauts in the Apollo 1 mission and takes his job very seriously. Davis is a principled man who plays it strictly by the book, and Jones's unorthodox methods quickly draw his ire. Can they learn to work together for the good of the mission, especially when Jones is tasked to produce a fake moon landing recording in secret from the rest of the project to be played to the entire world as a backup in the case of failure? Essentially, this film is a rom com, one of those chalk and cheese type affairs with 2 opposing personalities at loggerheads till they start to gel. It's all done quite well, with a snappy script and an energetic and quirky score that propels the film along at a fair pace. There's a little bit of chemistry there, if it's not exactly set in the screen alight, and Scarlett Johansson is actually really good in this role, showing a knack for accents as well as a nuanced performance. Her portrayal really impressed me as she brought this maverick, smooth-talking go-getter with a hidden past to life. For all of this might scream modern day, I can assure you that her character is in fact entirely feminine, showing vulnerability and depth alongside her silver tongue and effective charm offensive. She's accompanied by a female aide who is a staunch anti-Nixon feminist and initially threatens to be completely insufferable, but thankfully she's kept from full-blown activist mode and just has a few comments peppered throughout the runtime. Although there was one moment that I took great offence to. Let's just say that the origin of Armstrong's famous
"It's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind"
is brought into dispute. Still, this is a work of fiction and not portrayed as based on a true story, so I'll just give it a sideways dirty look rather than my full disdain and vitriol. Channing Tatum, for his part, is pleasantly good. For Channing Tatum. I won't lie, I've never been particularly enamoured with him as an actor, and although I can think of other castings that would be more compelling in this role, Tatum has a good crack at this under pressure and uncompromising launch director, in charge of making Kennedy's promise to put a man on the moon by the end of the decade a reality. Considering my low expectations, for him at least, he did a decent job, I thought. Nothing spectacular, but he is solid. Other than the acting, there is a great sense of the national mood and just what the mission means to the USA, especially in the shadow of the Vietnam War, which is not going well for the States. NASA is in desperate need of funding, and with the war not going well, they're in danger of losing the money needed to complete the mission. This leads to Jones going against Davis' wishes more than once, and the launch director being forced to make compromises that he can ill afford on a mission that is on a knife edge already. This adds a nice little bit of tension to affairs and elevates it above your standard rom com chick flick. The scale of the project and just what was involved to make it a reality is also impressively conveyed, and the majesty of these spectacular engines is readily apparent. There's a decent little bit of character development, including some secondary characters that get a moment to shine, and overall the plot and the script are pretty good. There's certainly room for trimming, and one of my complaints about the film is that it is too long. The wrong side of 2 hours. A few scenes could have been compromised for the sake of a smoother narrative. For all this though, the film does move at a fair pace for the first half, and it's only when the fake landing subplot comes in that the film really starts to stumble a little bit, as what had been a good mix is spoiled slightly by the added elements. There's just a little bit too much crammed in. For example, the outrageously flamboyant and camp bitchy gay director is a walking stereotype and really quite tiresome. And although there are a few excellent lines, not all the jokes and humour land. There's also some needless drama inserted here and there that isn't really required. Despite some decent setup and payoffs, especially involving a rather innocuous black cat, there are just a few too many cogs spinning to have an entirely smooth, effective film. It doesn't fatally compromise the film, but it is a flaw, and it just keeps it from being what it could have been. But, all that said, the film's not bad. A great turn from ScarJo, and solid performances from everyone else make it a compelling watch. And even if it is a little bit on the long side, I enjoyed the movie and thought the acting, score, directing and editing were all impressive in varying degrees. It was a pleasant surprise, engaging, earnest and often quite charming and funny, and although I don't see it reaching the stars it aims for, The Moon is a decent silver prize. This is definitely worth a watch when it hits streaming. Thanks for watching. I've been Critic. I'll be back with another movie review soon.